Good morning to all of you. You know, it really sucks when you wake up and you think it's a totally different day. I got up and the first thing I did, I started sorting through laundry, which I still need to put up. And I thought, oh, it's Wednesday. I got to repaint my toenails pink, or I got to find something pink to wear. And then I hear the news in the other room and I'm like, oh, it's just Tuesday. Well, that's what happens when Monday drags on. I was telling Jules this morning, since we have this cool front that's has come through. Jinbug doesn't know what I'm talking about because she lives in Arizona. I was singing that song, Chill of an Early Fall from George Strait. Now, we know it's not about the weather, but that's what I thought about. I mean, this is August. And I do not have the air conditioner on. Woo. Can't complain when it's really, really nice. No. V. Oakley said, a cool front would be nice. What's your temperature there, V? Peanut Shell said, no cool or rain here in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona is the first time my husband ever heard a rattlesnake. That is right. He went to throw some trash away, and he threw it into this dumpster, and I've never seen a white man run so fast and scramble back into the vehicle. I was like, what happened? He goes, there's a fucking rattlesnake over there by that dumpster. I said, well, go get it. That's good eating, buddy. That's good eating. Jinbug said, don't rub it in, Brooks. Let's see. I have another question in here. Jess said, what time is court? I don't know. Does anybody know what time their court appearance is today? I'm getting conflicting times. So I went ahead and started at our normal time because I also don't have any verification that it will be made public. I hope they make it public, as in on TV. V. Oakley said 11 Eastern. So that would be, hang on, 7 a.m. their time? Huh. And there's these rumors going around that they have filed a motion, whoever they is, because I don't see any attorney of record except for the dumb work comp lawyer that follows Jake around, that have filed any sort of motion, because there's a lot of rumors saying that if they don't produce a body, they have to release them. I put nothing past scumbag defense attorneys, and I put nothing against weak judges. And just because they were denied a bond last Friday doesn't mean they won't get a bond today. Chris said 8 a.m. their time, so 11 Eastern. I did the math wrong. Thank you. All right, thank you. So that would be, so Pacific time, that'd be, well, it should be starting any minute. For me. I don't know. Let's take a minute while I do the math in my head and tell everyone good morning. Ilyanka said, bullshit. Am I going to get blocked, you boob? I call YouTube the same thing. Nope, you're not getting blocked around here. Boy, there's a lot going on. First, let me talk about our family. As Nufflin says, family by choice. Family by choice. Everyone knows that Angel P is a huge, huge part of our family. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing friend. She's an amazing moderator. She's just amazing all the way around. Great parent, great grandparent. I mean, the whole 9 yards. She had some devastating news today. Her father-in-law is being put into hospice care. She anticipated this, but no one's ever ready for that news. No one is. I want everyone to please send whatever love you can on your keyboard to the amazing Angel P and her father-in-law. And we feel complete. Britt is back. Britt is back. Jules said, praying for Angel P and her family. Joanne, yeah, we love Angel P. She's an amazing person. And I love all of you. Let me go through some of your comments from yesterday, and then we're going to get to Rebecca. You crazy girl. You don't even know what's going on, and your media interview made your defense theory go poof, poof, out the window. It gone. Let's look at your comments. Joanne Johnson said she never searched for him in the beginning, so what the heck is she talking about now? Sitting in her cell going, I should be out searching for my son that's been kidnapped. He was not kidnapped. No. Remember, if I showcase your comment, send me an email, cll72020@gmail.com. Internet Granny 101, cool name, said the mother will tell next month because it's getting to her. The weak link, they need to apply pressure on her. Oh, I agree, and I think they are. Till He Comes Soon, another great name. You guys are very inventive with your screen names. I'm telling you. When I'm not on the channel and I'm using like my personal YouTube, it just pops up Brooks. That's it. That's all you got for me. Nothing fancy smancy. Till he comes soon, says the only place they could have kept Sweet Emmanuel for that long without a smell of unaliving would be a freezer. I wonder if they checked for DNA in it, especially if he's been expired 1 to 2 months. Boom comment. Susan and I spoke about this. Why? Because Susan is a walking encyclopedia on the Harmony Montgomery case. And we all know decomp smells. And we know in the Harmony Montgomery case, people detected odors from the Under Armour bag she was in to the maternity bag, and they started putting her from freezer to freezer to freezer. Horrible thing to say. We have a whole playlist on Harmony Montgomery. Joanne Johnson said, Jake reminds me of Don Wells when he's talking so nonchalant and innocent. Woo! Yes. Always the victim, aren't these people? Always the victim. My goodness. Peas in a Pod, who also is the captain of our coin pushing Olympic team. We were trying to get coin pushers that Candace Wells brought all of us to the table on. She is the queen of the coin pusher. Peas in a Pod is the captain of hopefully soon to be our coin pushing team. Peas in a Pod said it's sickening that Jake's workman comp fake injuries. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to start again. It's sickening that Jake's work comp fake injuries seem to match the injuries he was causing to his children. It's like a roadmap to what he was doing to his babies. This time, he got rid of the evidence, as in a manual. In my opinion, neither will give up where the baby is, because then law enforcement will have the proof of what they did to him in life and what they did to dispose of him. Can I please have an amen for Peas in a Pod? All right, and comments that I tell you what I love more than anything. Lick My Kitty. Lick My Kitty said to me, the fact that you don't know what tira means and you can't pronounce it shows your white entitlement and your narcissistic racism. Well, I'm not going to lick your kitty. And I asked a question. What does it mean? V. Oakley, yeah. Lick my kitty. Lick my kitty told me. Lick my kitty told me. Melanie's from Oklahoma. Melanie, come up. Someone give us a sentence and watch us fuck it up. Lick my kitty. Lick my kitty. Come on, Shonda, grab the link. Someone give us a sentence and watch an Okie mess it up. But Lick My Kitty, you have a new award. Remember, CLL72020@gmail.com. You don't even have Idiot of the Week. You have Race Baiting Award of, I'll just say today, this is for you. Lick My Kitty. I'm sorry, Lick My Kitty, but that was a stupid thing to say. You're almost, Lick My Kitty, as stupid as Rebecca. You really are. Obviously, no one is telling her what's going on the outside. She doesn't know, in my opinion, what Jake has been doing, saying. She doesn't know about his field trip. She does not know. She doesn't know. She's speaking in her own words, and it's like the old country song. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story. That's my story. That's my story. That's my story. She's sticking to it. That's all there is to it. She won't stop with it. Look at this. This is from Fox 11 out of Los Angeles, California. And I think everyone is perplexed, as all of us, except for Lick My Kitty.
Tonight, in the search for a missing baby in the Inland Empire, we now know his mother, who is currently in jail on suspicion of murder, maintains her child was kidnapped. Fox 11's Nick Garcia is live in downtown Riverside with what could be next in this investigation. Nick?
All right, Susan, good evening. Well, Rebecca Haro is behind bars.
Hold on. Chrissy said racist. You say racist, you get this. Poor Lick My Kitty. You know, she took some time out of her day to write all that to me. Maybe we should say some prayers for Lick My Kitty. Earth Angel said, I feel better about today after seeing Brian Hinton's interview with the previous DA of that county. I do and I don't, because the previous DA of that county has blood on their hands. I can't speak about her specifically. Jake should have never been out. But I totally dig what you're saying.
In that jail here in Riverside right now. The Riverside District Attorney's Office says a decision on filing has not been made yet, but we know that Rebecca and Jake Haro both face that count of murder if those charges are
murder with malice. His murder was intended.
Are filed. They could appear in court here tomorrow. It's a case that has captured national attention, the disappearance of infant Emmanuel Haro. Last week, his parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, were arrested for murder.
Look at her, that ponytail flopping around, you know, getting in the cruiser, getting ready to go downtown. You got Jake walking out in his boxers and his little weenus hanging out. It's really amazing with all the work comp claims Jake has filed. He has nothing about his little weenie. Nothing. He's got like 5-6 claims about his coccyx, though. We talked about that yesterday.
What are you doing here, Uncle Rico?
Grandma took a little spill at the sand dunes today. Broke her coccyx.
What? Since when did she go to the dunes?
Now Rebecca is speaking out from jail. She spoke with the Southern California News Group, insisting her baby was kidnapped, saying, quote, I want to be out looking for my baby.
You made the false alarm on the 14th. You were arrested on the 22nd. You already, in my opinion, had flyers made. Matter of fact, you had a whole new manicure to show those flyers on the news. That was a fresh, new manicure. I'm not talking no sausage fingers, bit off nails, anything like that. That was a fresh manicure, my friends. You had that much time, but now you're saying, I want to be out looking for my baby. Okay. You mean your missing kid? Isn't that what Sylv put on the flyers?
She also spoke about her husband, saying, quote, he's a good dad. He would never hurt a baby.
He's a good dad. He would never hurt a baby. Not according to Riverside County, that, in my opinion, should have thrown the book at him and had him in jail 20 to life for attempted murder. Instead, in my humble opinion, from 2018 to 2023, it was pled down to child cruelty. And in that time, he had more work comp claims.
That jailhouse interview happened Sunday, the same day Jake Haro, seen here in an orange jumpsuit, was brought by San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies to help look for Emmanuel's body near the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley. The body was not found, but detectives do believe the baby is dead. Sunday night, a growing memorial outside the Haro home in Cabazon.
Beautiful that baby Emmanuel gets the support. It's very unfortunate that he wasn't able to get it while he was still here.
Concerned community members have gathered several times since baby Emmanuel's disappearance, hoping he will be found. As of Monday afternoon, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has not located the boy's body. Certainly the question on everyone's mind, where is baby Emmanuel?
She knows, or she has a good idea. Oh, Meerkamp said, hi, everyone. I'm late. Unexcused tardy here. Happy Taco Tuesday. Who's in charge of late slips today? I'll put Susan in charge of that. Snow has a question. Does anyone here think he really confessed, or is he throwing Rebecca under the bus? I think things will be much different if he did confess. And today's hearing would be listed a different way. That's just my opinion. I've been wrong before. I might be wrong now.
Interview, Rebecca Harrow called Jake a good dad.
He's a good dad. He would never hurt a baby. What's really weird in her mugshot, okay, she obviously has some new highlights, okay, which to me is really strange. And I'm really surprised that no beautician has stepped out and said, oh yeah, I streaked her hair and I gave her a blowout. But now that bruise, I'm telling you, her two black eyes, one of them, there's got to be a crack there somewhere, because now that bruise is drooping. So if you live in California, you're going to pay for this corrective surgery. Everything goes to the taxpayers. Everything.
And said he would never hurt a baby. There's her new mugshot, by the way. A lot of people zeroing in on both of those black eyes. And also, how strange that she's still talking from jail. She talked to the media before. Everyone was suspicious of her. Now she's talking to reporters from the jail, trying to stand up for her husband. As we've reported, he was convicted in 2023 of an act of willful child cruelty 5 years earlier. It's an awful case. The victim was even younger than Emmanuel, just 10 weeks old, who suffered permanent brain damage. Jake and Rebecca also have a 2-year-old daughter who is now in the care of Child Protective Services. Every single day, it seems like this case just gets more and more disturbing. My News Nation colleague, Nancy Liu, joins me.
I can't agree more with News Daddy. I can't agree more. I almost don't want to look at my phone or go to YouTube, because everything that comes out is more disturbing. And when Rebecca was out and about before she got the highlights and got her hair all puffed up, all she could do is lie and stick with the Big Five story. Now she's behind bars and she wants to sing like a canary, but she's not telling investigators what they need in order to give justice to her, in quotes, missing kid. Frank Opinion said, how is a 2-year-old? Will we know? I doubt we will ever hear, but I have a feeling that the 2-year-old was abused as well. Jules said, hey, there he is, folks, my News Daddy. Whoop. All you girls like News Daddy.
Live from outside that couple's home, just outside Palm Springs. Nancy, they brought the dad out to search this weekend in the jail jumpsuit, and still nothing. No sign of baby Emmanuel.
Yeah, remarkable developments in this case, Brian, but the bottom line is, where is baby Emmanuel? We are outside the Harrow family home. This is in Cabazon, which is about 15 miles west of Palm Springs. We can tell you this house is deserted. Obviously, mom and dad, they are now in jail. The 2-year-old child is now in custody of Child Protective Services. And we understand that Jake's elderly mother is now staying somewhere else. I've been poking around this neighborhood.
Jake's elderly mother? What? His mother, Rachel, is no way elderly. No. She's much younger than Rebecca's crusty old lion mama, Mary.
Talking with people who live around here, they don't know this family. And the one woman said, she's only seen the mom one time in 4 years. But on this side, Brian, I want to show you the memorial that is just growing and growing. It's about 20 yards wide. You and I, we've covered a lot of tragedy, and this memorial, it is significant. So many signs, asking for justice for baby Emmanuel. Where is baby Emmanuel? This is obviously a case which has touched so many throughout the region. So many people had believed that initial story of the baby being kidnapped. Just a horrible story. The mom with the black eye claiming that, she was changing the baby's diaper. And when she came to, the baby was gone. And of course, now the sheriff's department saying this is a case of murder. However, there is no body despite an extensive search for remains, Brian.
And there were also no tears, Nancy. You remember when she would go out, the mom, and give those press conferences, and she would be crying.
Mm-hmm.
True Crime Beat had tears in her eyes when we were at CrimeCon. And she wasn't allowed to follow News Daddy into the men's bathroom. I accused her of stalking him. Remember that True Crime Beat? Yeah, True Crime Beat.
But I always look closely in those situations. I always look right at the screen, and there were no tears, which had a lot of people feeling very suspicious from the beginning. And it is so sad. What were you going to say, though, Nancy?
Yeah, I was going to point out that there is an interview with the father with a media station in which he talked about baby Emmanuel in the past tense. So there are people who are also making note of that.
Yeah, and again, the father who was once charged with child abuse, and the other child is now nearly brain dead. The whole thing is awful. And I was just thinking, all those signs behind you, the little stuffed animals, the strollers, really drives home that this is just a baby boy.
Heartbreaking.
Do we know anything more, Nancy? Because I was so perplexed. They brought him out there in the jumpsuit on the side of the freeway where he spent hours showing detectives around, but then they found nothing. Do we know what he said to police to prompt that?
The sheriff's department is revealing nothing about that search other than it happened and that it's now concluded. But take a look at the video. Take a closer look at how he is acting, because I don't see him pointing or really talking in an animated way. Is he truly helping detectives to find baby? He's not walking. He's just standing there. He's not pointing at anything. So how helpful was he? Was this just, an outing?
He deflected. And tried to mess up the case. He got him a little field trip. He got him some good coffee. That's the truth. Jenny said, I'm a little behind. Well, we've been live for 31 minutes. Still have not found Emmanuel. The total bums are due in court sometime today. Someone named Lick My Kitty called me a racist. I accused True Crime Beat of stalking Brian Hinton. So did I catch her up yet? Sharon Clark said, why no press conference yet? I want to know. I have a lot of questions about this myself. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is they do not want to open everything up for questions from reporters to ask the district attorney's office, why was he ever out? They do not want to open themselves up to questions like, why did Child Protective Services never do a well check on the children knowing he was convicted of child cruelty? That's all I can think of. And look at this. Betty Smith is a new YouTube member. Love it. Thank you for being part of our amazing family.
For him to get out from behind bars for a while. But it remains to be seen, was this a futile excursion for him outside the jail? They're both of the parents, they're being held here in Riverside County. He's going to be in court in Riverside County, we suspect, tomorrow morning. But this video, what stood out to me, Brian, is that he's not really, is he truly helping in finding anything? Because in the end, they found nothing.
Thank you for watching.
And Rebecca is saying ridiculous things like, he's a good dad. He would never hurt a child. He is convicted of child cruelty. This is not neglect. This is not endangerment, which is bad, which is very bad. He is convicted of cruelty to a child. Joanne, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that helps this channel. Thank you so much. All right, today on Good Day LA, they're talking about the upcoming court hearing. This is the latest I can find.
Morning of Emmanuel Haro. The search for the missing baby continues as his mother maintains her innocence behind bars.
Mario Ramirez is live in Riverside now, where Emmanuel's parents could make their first court appearance as early as today, Mario.
Jen, Bob, good morning. That's right. We're just outside the courthouse. Emmanuel Haro, at this point in the investigation, authorities are presuming that the 7-month-old is dead. His parents have been named suspects in the case, and they're expected to appear here at this courthouse as early as this afternoon once the DA's office files charges. And
first, may I say this? What a beautiful courthouse. OMG. Look at those carvings. Look at those pillars. Look at that marble. This is a gorgeous courthouse. I would shit my pants if I had to go there. I don't care if it was for a court fine, for like traffic, like you didn't yield properly, something like that. It is top notch.
While investigators say a kidnapping never happened as it was initially reported, Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, is speaking out from jail. She spoke with the Southern California News Group, insisting her child was kidnapped, saying, quote, "I want to be out looking for my baby," end quote. She also spoke about her husband from behind bars, saying he's a good dad and he would never hurt a baby. Now, that jailhouse interview on Sunday, the same day Jake Haro was seen in an orange jumpsuit cuffed with San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies searching for Emmanuel's remains near the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley. The body wasn't found, but detectives believe the baby, unfortunately, is dead. Rebecca and Jake Haro arrested at their Cabazon home Friday of last week on suspicion of murder. The story starts August 14th when Rebecca reported her 7-month-old was kidnapped after she was attacked outside a Yucaipa store. Days later, investigators claimed she, along with Emmanuel's father, Jake, had stopped cooperating, adding that there were inconsistencies in their stories. Emmanuel's disappearance leading to an all-out hunt and search for several areas in Yucaipa and Cabazon, including the couple's home. With the latest search efforts in Moreno Valley, both are now facing 1 count of felony murder with malice, according to Riverside County jail records this morning. And once those charges are officially filed, the two are expected to appear in court again as early as this afternoon. Right now, they're being held behind bars without bail as the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. For now, live here at Riverside County, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Okay, that was from earlier this morning from Good Day LA. I still don't know what time they're doing court. Some people say 8 a.m. Pacific time. That reporter said could be as early as this afternoon. Something's cooking. Did any of you ever watch WWE when The Rock would come out and say, "What's The Rock cooking?" Well, Brooks here can smell something cooking. Something's going on. And I can tell you who else knows. Chris McDonough. He kind of knows his way around that courthouse. Which, by the way, I need to get a hold of old DT Driver and have him change the whole front of our house here in Oklahoma. I want it to look like that courthouse. Could you imagine the look on Linda's face? She's still really confused as to how my tulips were prettier than hers. Little does she know, I got them from Amazon and just stuck them around the tree. She doesn't even know. It actually made it look more believable when my husband was outside watering them, because I guess he didn't know either. And they're fake as fuck. They're as fake as my titties. I'm telling you right now, they are. They're as fake as my front 2 teeth. They really are. Could you imagine if Linda came outside and she saw the front of our house look like that courthouse? Whoa. Yeah, I got to have old DT Driver work on that.
McDonough, a retired homicide detective who has worked cases in Southern California for 25 years, covering over 300 murders. He is on.
And right now is where we need Pat Kay, because her boyfriend is on the screen. And no, I'm not talking about Brian Enton. I'm talking about Chris McDonough. Paging Pat Kay. Paging Pat Kay. Chris McDonough is about to lay down some genius. Look who just came out of the bushes. DT Driver. He said, well, I just put it on my honey-do list. All right. Cat OG will never get over this story. When Linda was putting what looked like condoms on her tulips, we were having a windstorm and she didn't want the petals to blow off. Yes. Get to carving, DT. Get to carving.
The executive board of the Cold Case Foundation. Chris, welcome back to the show. Back to Nancy's point. When you look at that video, she makes a good point. I mean, he's just kind of standing around out there. It didn't look like he was taking them to one specific spot, at least from the angle that we have. What do you think was going on behind the scenes? Did he make some kind of promise to them and then not really live up to it once they got out there?
You know, Brian, that's probably a high probability of what's taking place here. If you'll notice, even the one detective that's standing next to him with his arms crossed, you know, he's kind of leaning off to the side like, okay, we're here. You know, what have you got for us? And of course, they've got all.
Hey, where's Lick My Kitty? Lick My Kitty. Come out of the bushes. No pun intended. Lick my kitty. Come out of the bushes. Because you're about to see some racism. There's 2 white men on this interview. If Pat Kay was here, she'd be rubbing one out.
He's kind of leaning off to the side like, okay, we're here. What have you got for us? And of course, they've got all those resources there. So they must have had something in that interview room to prompt them to pull him out of the county jail and pull him down there.
And they must have known, Chris, this was right along the freeway. This case has garnered national attention. Obviously, the LA is a very aggressive news market. The cameras were going to show up. It almost like, I would say, does it almost embarrass cops at this point? It's almost like maybe he was playing a game with them.
I'm going to answer for Chris McDonough before we go forward. The police are not embarrassed. I'll tell you why. They didn't believe the bastard in the first place. Know why? You know why? They did not have a forensic anthropologist on site, and they did not have a medical examiner waiting. They already knew he was selling them a bad bill of goods. They already knew it, but they're going to play along. It's very smart what they did, in my opinion, because this blows his innocence defense. You can't exactly say, oh, well, I know where he's buried, out in the Badlands. And he's going to try to leave it up to the imagination because he's too damn dumb to realize that cadaver dogs, they know the difference. Humans may not know the difference. The dogs do. Jake is a first-class idiot. Jake is a first-class idiot. Hence, his 6 workman comp claims in the last 11 years. How many times can a grown man fall on his ass? How many times? Coccyx, coccyx, coccyx. Patella. Shoulder unspecified. How many times can that shit happen to someone? Insane. I think what they did was super smart because they gave a silver platter to the defense, not to the defense, but the prosecutor, and said, here you go. Here you go. He's claiming that their son is dead. He's agreeing. His defense was blown out of the water. Now, don't get me wrong. He will still plead not guilty. Defense is blown, Mr. Coccyx.
First cops at this point, it's almost like maybe he was playing a game with them.
Well, that could be a possibility, but obviously that's going to be to his detriment in the long run. I mean, that particular part of the freeway right there is right along, San Bernardino, Riverside, and San Diego County. They all kind of butt up against each other, but the 60 is a well-traveled freeway, and it looks like he's off to the side of the road. So maybe they were thinking, if we take him down here, he's going to bring us back to the reenactment of potentially how this child got to that area.
So the charge as it stands now, murder with malice, but no body. Sadly, though, the detectives did say today that they do not believe baby Emmanuel is alive. What do you think they know? I mean, even though there's no body, they must have some evidence that we don't know about to be able to move forward with these murder charges.
Yeah, I would suspect they probably have some type of digital footprint and or, forensics evidence from some of the search warrants they did. And of course, they're looking for malice, right? And in California, malice is a mental state of mind, which a person, intends to kill somebody. So this may go to his detriment if he is playing that game that, okay, I'm going to take him out there, burn some time up. But the prosecutor may use that against him to show that he had specific intent to kill his child. I
hate to even bring this up, but I just want to know if this is a possibility. And you know that area. Is it possible that baby Emmanuel was dumped there and they went out there and the baby is just no longer there anymore because of animals in the area or something like that?
I'm going to pause it right there. That is a very popular theory. Animals, wildlife, whatever you want to call it. But the cadaver dogs would have definitely picked up on it. They didn't just have one. They had several. I know some people go, I didn't say anything with any dogs. Well, you know, they said they had dogs with them. Okay, look, I wasn't there either. Okay, I'm taking their word for it on this one. Just Me said, careful, Brooks, your white privilege is showing. Maybe I should call my friend Gina. She's one of the best friends in the whole world. She's not white. And we can ask her. She's a very, 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 very pretty Black lady. Don't call her African American because she'll blow her fucking top. I'm going to ask her in a second. I'm going to call her and ask her if Black people have a coccyx. And hopefully Lick My Kitty is listening.
That is definitely a serious consideration because depending on the time frame, obviously, that particular geographic region right there is between those hills based on what I'm seeing off the video. They're on the 60. And of course, there's a lot of wildlife and animal activity out there. So if those cadaver dogs didn't hit on them on the first time, they probably are going to come back, maybe even, you know, without people knowing, and hit it one more time just in case.
What do you make of these parents in terms of, you've got the mom doing a interview with a local newspaper saying she stands by her husband, he would never hurt anyone despite this awful, awful criminal history, which we all know. But then you've got him showing up out there with the detectives. It kind of made me wonder, like, are they going to turn on each other? And is he trying to place the blame on her?
You know, that's a great point, Brian, because remember in his past case, he blamed his, significant other at that time. So this may be his same play. And of course, you know, they're going to try to, flush that out pretty quickly and maybe even, go to her now and say, look, this is what he's saying. And so it's going to be a he said, she said, and they're going to let the defense fight it out.
Yeah, I get the sense that he may be very, very manipulative, which I'm sure the detectives can already see through, but just based on some of his history and what we've heard about him. Chris McDonough, really appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for watching.
Well, they're feeding plenty. Jake and Rebecca. They're feeding plenty to the media, to the prosecution, but they're making it very hard to give them any sort of defense. Not because they're not going to get a good defense. How can you defend this? How can you defend this? Let's look at this. I love the way Cinema Shogun, super cool dude, put this together. We remember good old Letitia Stout when she sent the text message to Harley, her daughter, and asked her to pick up all kinds of cleaning supplies, which Harley did. I don't think she realized at the time, actually, she didn't realize at the time, that she was picking all that stuff up because Letitia was cleaning up, not alleged, confirmed and convicted murder of Gannon Stout. Then we go to the case of Harmony Montgomery, where Adam Montgomery, not alleged, not suspected, convicted of murdering his daughter. Harmony Montgomery We know he was buying saws, lime, lye, all that stuff. Rebecca, her shopping cart was full of all of it. Yet she wants to go out and find her kidnapped baby. Lye, lime, carpet cleaning supplies. Hey, they already found all the blood. They already found it. It took them a while to match it with the manual, but they did. Again, you can't defend that.
What role she had directly in whatever happened to Emmanuel, but she played a major role in covering all of this up, because Rebecca has been spotted all over the place. Rebecca was spotted out trying to buy a saw. Rebecca was spotted getting rid of baby clothing. Rebecca was spotted in multiple locations with the black eyes.
No one is going to forget a woman with an empty stroller pretending to walk a baby who is dead with black eyes. That is something anyone would notice and would retain to their memory. I do know that lady. Man, her eyes are super black. And I don't mean from lack of sleep. I mean from a shiner. I mean from a sucker punch. And she's walking around with an empty stroller trying to pretend her child is still alive. Oh, no, don't look in there. He's sleeping. That type of thing. No, everyone knew the difference. She is Satan's secretary. Okay? She is. She is doing all of these things to protect herself. True story, she is. And protect Jake. Well, where did it get her?
Rebecca has been seen by a lot of people in town, but not so much Jake. So that leads me to believe that at the very least, Rebecca played the bigger part in kind of covering all of this up. Maybe Jake was making her do his dirty work. I don't know. But on the Tita or Ahmed, he was on a live stream last night, and
I do know, based on Jake's history, Jake's patterns, Jake's fraud, Jake's abuse, he had her do all those things. I do know. I do not have to speculate. Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the writing. Proof is in black and white in Riverside County, California. It is there. Proof is in all the times he got huge amounts of money for falling on his coccyx at his various jobs. Is Rebecca still a piece of shit? Yep. Is Rebecca an abuser? Yep. Is Rebecca a total liar? Yep. Is Rebecca a murderer? That's for the courts to decide. I'm going to guess, yep.
he revealed some new information. Some new tips have come in about more sightings. More people have come forward claiming that they saw Rebecca and Jake in some instances in the days leading up to Rebecca reporting Emmanuel missing. For one, they are saying that Rebecca was spotted trying to buy carpet cleaner, or actually buying carpet cleaner. She was buying carpet cleaner. Now, that's not a big shock to me, because in every true crime case, the suspect always goes somewhere and buys some questionable stuff from Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot. They always buy cleaning supplies, right? So that's not a...
Okay, so we have like our white trash crimes. Okay. Where's Lick My Kitty? I said that. Lick My Kitty. I said that. And it seems like there's always a Dollar General involved. Then we have the most murderous crimes. Gannon, Harmony. That's when they have to go to more of like the hardware stores. That's when you get the power tools, the lime, the lye, all that stuff. And there is such a thing that they put together in court. They did it for Megan Boswell. They did it for Letitia Stout. And they look at patterns of behavior. How often do you buy a saw? Did you just need one? I mean, you live in the desert. Do you saw sand? What are you doing? What you need? What you need a saw for? Not like you got any pine trees that are leaning on your house. When is the last time you picked up carpet cleaning materials? Oh, never? But in the time that your son had been murdered, you decide to do some summer cleaning? Have you seen that dump? Have you seen it? No. No. Circumstantial? Yes. True evidence? Not really.
A big shock to me. And we know that law enforcement said they found a significant amount of blood in the house. So I already assumed that Jake and Rebecca were going to try to buy something to clean it up. But here's where things really get weird. Now, reports came in earlier this week that Rebecca was spotted walking around a construction site at midnight with a stroller, and investigators searched that area and they found nothing. But that doesn't mean that Rebecca wasn't there.
Walking around with an empty stroller, little sus. Ilyanka said, Brooke's been watching, still don't get this coccyx joke. It has to do with Jake's work comp claims. We talked about it yesterday. Every time he would go to work, he would always hurt something. Knee, shoulder, his side, neck. He had a digestive problem. And then like 2 or 3 times it said his coccyx. She said, I garden. I bought a bag of lye over 10 years ago. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, 10 years ago. If it's within a time frame of a baby missing in your family and you are a prime suspect, well, that looks sketch, sketch, sketch.
Maybe that was just an area where Rebecca was considering dumping Emmanuel, but ultimately decided not to. Because people have now come forward claiming that Jake and Rebecca took their car, or took their truck, I should say, to the car wash. And, okay, people get their car washed, no big deal, but here's the weird part. Emmanuel's or someone's baby stroller, a black baby stroller, was in the back of the truck. And they wanted to go through the car wash with the baby stroller in the back of the truck still. And when the guy at the car wash was like, hey, you can't do that, they were like, no, we want to go ahead and go through.
So they wanted the automatic car wash to clean out Emmanuel's baby stroller. Huh. Nothing odd about that. That is not a rational behavior for any human being. None, none, none.
And ultimately, he wouldn't let them. So that's really freaking awkward, if you ask me. Who in the hell tries to go through a car wash in a truck or whatever with a baby stroller in the back? They're literally trying to wash that baby stroller in a car wash. Now, obviously, these are just rumors on the streets. Law enforcement isn't out here telling us this stuff, but these are the rumors that are being reported. And the streets talk. And most of the stuff that we've heard from the streets, most of that stuff has been correct so far. So Rebecca she keeps getting spotted everywhere. And this right here is really weird to me because of
she was spotted by multiple people. It's not like she's unrecognizable. This is a woman that doesn't even put on like big old Jackie O sunglasses to cover up those damn bruises. She doesn't. She's loud and proud, walking around with these banged up eyes. Anyone is going to recognize that. They're going to say, I wonder what happened to that lady. What could have happened to her? I'll bet you $1 to a donut, several people that saw her out and about asked, what happened? You know how I know? Because people have talked. And she gave different stories every time. Truth never changes, and it's impossible to forget because it's the truth. If somebody asks me, hey, Brooks, what were you doing at 10:04 a.m. on Tuesday? Talking to my friends on our channel, Crime Lines and Lies. That's the truth. Nothing there to forget. No. But we're talking about two big old black eyes. One you can see is healing up. The other one is a real deep one. And I'm telling you, she is up to her earlobes in this. Don't think Jake did not put her up to disposing of Emmanuel. Hence why that stroller was so important for those two to run through the car wash and, in their dum-dum minds, sanitize.
Of course, we got the reports that Rebecca had been walking around with the black baby stroller at midnight. And now we hear that, they tried to go through a car wash with the baby stroller in the back. So the baby stroller gets washed in the car wash, which is really awkward. So I'm thinking that whenever they ditched Emmanuel, there's a possibility that they had him in the black baby stroller. And I guess, I don't know what's going through their mind. I try not to put myself in the mind and in the shoes of people who do horrible things like this. But I'm thinking that maybe they were looking for spots and had Emmanuel in the stroller. And after they eventually got rid of him, they took the stroller and they tried to wash it in the car wash. Yes, I know that sounds awkward and crazy, but that's how this story has been. This story has been pretty awkward and crazy, and now at the time of this recording, Rebecca's still sticking to her original story. Jake is out here with police on the side of the road looking for Emmanuel. Who knows what in the hell is going on? All I know is that Rebecca, and I guess Jake, but mostly Rebecca, the streets are talking, and a lot of people saw her in the days leading up to Emmanuel supposedly getting kidnapped. So, yeah, a lot of stuff.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Lauren, my friend. Lauren has been around for a long time. Lauren, you need to be a member again because I would love to know how long we have been friends. She has a question for Kimberly Mann. If you're new around here, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you. Every day is Kimberly Mann's birthday. If you know, you know. But I did not know this. Kimberly Mann, are you signing Bibles in Vermont? She got a Bible from a woman in Brattleboro named Kimberly Mann. She even signed it. Kimberly Mann is an evangelist. I did not know that. Everyone, Put your hands together and give a round of applause to Kimberly Mann, the evangelist. Kimberly Mann is all over the place. She's our own JLR.
It's just adding up against her right now. And the crazy part is, don't get me wrong, Rebecca obviously played a major role in this, and I think she's a horrible person. But in my opinion, I don't think that she did this to Emmanuel. I think that it's more likely that Jake did, especially considering his history. It's not far-fetched to believe that he would do something again like he did before. But it's clear and undeniable that when it comes to the cover-up has mainly been Rebecca. Rebecca is the one that was in the Big Five parking lot supposedly getting knocked out. Rebecca was the one there when Emmanuel supposedly got kidnapped. Rebecca is the one on security on security camera in the Big Five parking lot, clear as day, by herself with no one knocking her out and no one kidnapping Emmanuel. Rebecca's the one that's getting spotted on all of these security videos at these different stores, getting rid of baby clothing, trying to buy a saw, buying cleaning products. And yeah, maybe Jake is the one that's telling her to do all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, Rebecca is leaving more of a trail than Jake left.
I can't agree with that more. She is not leaving breadcrumbs. She's leaving Tyrannosaurus Rex deep footprints. She has been seen and seen and seen. Empty stroller. We have the car wash where they have an open truck bed and they have the stroller and they insist, no, we're going to go through and we're going to have this stroller cleaned. They're like, no way. It's going to get caught in all the gears and everything. It's going to ruin our car wash. No. Go get you one of those with the gun, the power washers. They got them on every damn corner in Oklahoma. Try one of those. You're not doing this here. We have the cleaning supplies, and she's a dirty bitch. So again, that is out of her norm. She's not the, I'm going to steam clean today type of lady. No, she's not. She's the, feeling cute today. I might go ahead and get that moldy macaroni and cheese out of the microwave. That's the kind of lady we're dealing with here. Okay? Anybody that wants to be a member, there is the link. Yes, it's there. Now we get back to News Daddy, who is speaking to the former district attorney of Riverside, California, Riverside County, who's explaining how she feels this is going to go down. I am not putting a ton of salt into her words because she was part of the prosecutor's office that thought it was a better idea to give Jake the jokester, a work release and counseling, which it's hard for me to even spit these words out. The counseling class, not talking anger management, anything like that. It was preventing yourself from abusing a child. That in itself is an insult that there is even a class like that. Who on earth? Who would even teach that class? Put me in, coach. I'll teach them. You wouldn't believe my face if I had to sit there with people that are required to go to a class to right their wrongs with the court system and talk about why they abuse children and how next time you're going to give yourself a time out and just not shake the shit out of a baby, a newborn baby. Okay? Go back in his history. You're going to find animal abuse as well. Lauren, are you a George Strait fan? You know, when he sings that song, "You Look So Good in Love." Lauren, you look so good in green. You want me, it's easy to see. Lauren, you look so good in green. And Kimberly Mann, also gifted Crime, Lines, and Lies memberships. Yes, yes. Oh, man, I better quit singing. I don't need Nashville to call and try to put me on the stage. That would really cramp my damn style. Wouldn't even know what to do. Damn. They'd want me on The Voice and shit. They'd want me talking to Jimmy Fallon and all kinds of stuff that I don't have time to do. So I'm going to quit singing, okay?
Although it should be noted, I think it's really important, Brian, in Riverside County, there have not been very many murders that they have booked suspects on.
Kimberly Mann said, "What would you wear?" Oh, easy. My coin pushing uniform. The one I wore for Halloween a couple of years ago when I dressed up as Candace Wells. Easy. Greg's basketball shorts, his John Deere hat. I won't wash my hair. I'm actually going to tuck it up in the John Deere cap and a shirt that doesn't match and some of DT driver socks that come up to my knees and some shoes and some flip-flops. Easy. Easy. Yes. My coin, yeah, exactly. My coin pushing uniform. Ass peas in a pod. I don't know where she's at. She's probably talking shit about me with Lick My Kitty because she loves that stuff. And no bra. No bra. And underwear that's been put inside out because I don't feel like washing it.
Without the body being present. This is what we call a no body homicide in Riverside. It's very unusual, let's say that, to book somebody in, two people on a murder charge without having the body, because on a body carries a lot of forensic evidence, a lot of details, a lot of the story usually. So the fact that that is not in this case tells me that there's probably quite a lot of evidence that San Bernardino Sheriff's Department has collected, and it's significant in order to put two separate charges on two separate parents for the charge of murder with malice. It just simply means murder, and now by tomorrow morning, when both are arraigned, the district attorney's office will decide potentially which degree of murder and whether it'll be a special circumstance murder.
Do you think that the prosecutors are concerned?
Now, when she says special circumstance murder, I need somebody from California to explain it. I wish JPL was here, but she's probably still asleep. You know, she's always got things going on, like getting the latest lipstick from Tom Ford or just getting back from Malibu or Hawaii. But I need to know, what is a special circumstance murder? I have a feeling she's talking about if the lie, the lime, and the saw was actually used for what we as true crime aficionados are thinking. If they actually use those things to, let's say, allegedly dismember him. That's why I think she is referring to this could be a special circumstance murder.
That they don't have a body right now, or do you think they have so much evidence, other kinds of evidence, that it's not really a worry?
I think it's probably something that they are talking about as far as proving the case that is an obstacle for sure. Not having the body is always an obstacle. However, typically when you do file these cases, I'm sure they're sifting through all of the other evidence that they do have, whether it be cell phone data, ring camera video footage, forensics from the house, different witness statements, potential jail calls that they're listening to. If they're going to choose to decide to file charges and stick with murder for both of these two, I think what the district attorney's office is telling the world is that they have sufficient evidence to move forward, despite the fact that they don't have the body of baby Emmanuel just yet.
Well, and I thought it was interesting too that the sheriff's office is saying that they believe baby Emmanuel is deceased, which you would think if there was any hope or they just didn't know, they wouldn't be saying that. So there must be something that they have that's concrete, you would think.
Right. That is very, very true, Brian. The fact that there was so much blood found on the carpet inside the home, and then the home was kind of deplete of any photographs of Emmanuel, any, baby clothes, any type of bedding for a child. I think that the reasonable conclusion is that baby Emmanuel has been gone for some time, and the parents know it, which is why they tried to cover up all the blood that was in the carpet, and then covered up baby Emmanuel's clothing and photographs and took them all down because they knew he wasn't coming back. I think it's a fair conclusion.
It's so awful. I mean, we're talking about the law and everything, but when you just think about it, it's just terrible.
It's terrible. It's heinous, quite honest. And the fact that Jake Haro should have never been out of.
It is heinous. And she's about to say what I was hoping a district attorney or a former district attorney from Riverside County would say. Perk your ears, listen to what she says. It's gonna make you mad. She's admitting it.
Clothing and photographs and took them all down because they knew he wasn't coming back. I think it's a fair conclusion.
It's so awful. I mean, we're talking about the law and everything, but when you just think about it, it's just terrible.
It's terrible. It's heinous, quite honest. And the fact that Jake Haro should have never been out of custody is more egregious. He should have never been out of custody to do this to baby Emmanuel.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you about that in a second, but just while we're on the charges, so the DA has until 10 a.m. Tuesday to basically upgrade these charges, or kind of explain that. What's going on behind the scenes as they get ready for this 10 a.m. hearing?
Sure. So basically what happens with a homicide, typically a homicide occurs, 911 gets called, and the homicide detectives go out to the scene. At that point in time, the homicide detectives call what's called the on-call deputy district attorney for the homicide team. That deputy district attorney who's on call goes out to the scene with the detectives. In this case, it doesn't seem like that happened because San Bernardino Sheriff's Department was handling the calls and the investigation. So at some point, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department would have looped in Riverside Sheriff's Police Department. Once the Riverside Sheriff's Police Department is looped in, then the district attorney's office becomes also looped into the investigation. It's my understanding from speaking with several of the detectives from the Riverside Sheriff's Department that Mike Hestron's office is looped into what's going on. They are aware, they have the facts, and what's happening between now and tomorrow is a deputy district attorney has been assigned to review all the police reports, the body-worn camera, any video footage that they've collected, any forensic interview that they've collected.
Look at those two. Look at them. Listen, age difference doesn't really bother me. Unless, of course, it's a child and adult. Then I lose my damn mind. She's a mother. She has children from another marriage that she does not see. He is a known child abuser. Hey, he was on the news and everything back in the day. And she sought him out? Goodness.
That deputy district attorney is writing a memo to present to Mike Hestron, who's the DA of Riverside County. In that meeting, there will be several individuals sitting with Mike Hestron, his chiefs, his supervisors, and also the deputy district attorney who's going to likely be assigned to that case. This memo is being prepared to basically summarize for Mike Hestron and all of his colleagues and his staff the strengths of the case, the weaknesses of the case, the prior history of both parents, their criminal history, basically all the information summarizing it. And from there, they will collectively decide, obviously with Mike being the final say, what charges will be filed against both Jake Haro and Rebecca Haro. Those could range from anything as minor as let them out of custody. We don't have enough evidence to go forward with a murder charge. It's not likely, it doesn't happen very often, but I've seen it happen. They could decide to charge something less than homicide. They could do something like manslaughter if they didn't believe that there was malice or intentional or conscious disregard for human life. He could decide to file less charges than murder. Again, not likely, but it's possible. Then I can imagine the majority of the debate is going to be whether they have enough evidence to prove in court beyond a reasonable doubt that both Jake and Rebecca committed murder. They're both two separate individuals, two separate defendants, two separate filing decisions as to the culpability of the mental state of both. And so in that meeting, my guess would be that they're going to spend a lot of time deciding what mental intent they can prove for each parent, and whether that is first-degree murder, whether there's some special circumstances that could give rise, potentially making this a capital litigation case. All of that will be talked about and fleshed out in this meeting. Because Jake and Rebecca have been booked into custody, they're now in custody defendants, which means they have a statutory right to be brought to arraignment within 48 hours. So they must have charges filed against them by tomorrow. Which is why there's that deadline tomorrow morning that Mike Hestron must decide what the charges are.
And just while you were talking,
And everything I'm seeing on KTLA shows me that it's going forward. Again, I do not know what time this court hearing is going to be. It's going back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if it's going to be streamed live. Do you know, True Crime Beat? But this DA cannot mess this up. Because you do not have a body does not mean you do not have probable cause. This is not the final inning of the World Series. This is the very beginning of how our slow as fuck justice system works. Okay? That's what it is. We have the first batter up. We aren't anywhere near trial. We haven't even had an evidentiary hearing yet. And justice should be slow because it should be right. And probable cause will put anybody behind bars unless you're a public official. Don't get me going on that. One more person sends me something going, Nancy Pelosi, Brooks, have you seen all the money she stole and they're doing a congressional hearing? I screamed and I said, get the fuck out of here with that. If that was me or Lauren or Ilyanka or Voodoo or Susan or anyone else, there would be no congressional hearing. You know what it'd be? Boom! Close the door. And you'll see the judge at 8 a.m. Give a rat's ass about that. We'd be in jail. Probable cause will put anyone behind bars. Unless you are a public official. I'm telling you. I've been on this planet for 50 years. I've seen it.
I was thinking back to, again, these images of Jake Haro out there with the deputies over the weekend. I've covered a lot of stories where you'll hear about a defendant who takes the detectives out to show them where the body is or to show them where the murder weapon is. And I feel like almost every time they end up finding something when the person takes them out. Like, how unusual is it? Because even yesterday when we saw the photos, everyone was like, oh, they're going to find the body. Like, how unusual is it that he was out there with them and they came back empty-handed?
Honestly, Brian, it's very unusual. I have been a deputy district attorney for 15 years. For the past 5 years, like I said, I was handling homicide cases where I was out on scene. Number one, it's very rare to have a defendant go out to the crime scene and try to show you where evidence is. In the 5 years that I was exclusively prosecuting homicide cases, and in the 15 years I was prosecuting serious felony cases, one time I had a defendant go out to the scene to show evidence. And in that time, we found the body and we found the remnants of them burning the.
Does anyone, and hopefully you do, because we spoke about this beautiful little girl on this channel many times, Audrey Cunningham. Do you remember her? And that guy with those swastika tattoos and shit on him? Can't remember his name off the top of my head. He took him straight out to the Trinity River and said, yeah, that's where she's at. Jake is playing games. Jake is playing games.
The body. In this case, it's very rare, number one, that he even went out there, but number two, that they found nothing at all. Nothing. Not a scent from the dog, not a piece of clothing. It's very, very rare.
Yeah, it's upsetting too, just watching it. You wanted some kind of resolution. And especially, I mean, right there on the roadway and everybody sees it and it's on the news. It's almost not embarrassing for the cops, but it is kind of like he was toying with them a little bit.
Kind of, it makes you wonder that if he was completely toying with them or if he's got such like sadistic mental behavior that it was fun for him to almost create this scenario and this show for the world. I don't know what's really going on behind that guy's mental status, why he would take them out there in 4 or 5 degree weather to have nothing be found. It's very strange.
Take me back to 2023, this willful harm to a child, the charge that he faced. A lot of people are very angry that he was even out of jail. What happened back then?
So it looks like in October of 2021, Jake was arrested on what's called a 273 AA of the Penal Code, just child abuse of a child. Just a kind of.
She said penal code, and I keep thinking about Jake walking out in his boxers. Jake has a little penal code. Jake has a very small penal code. That's why he has all those work comp claims for his coccyx. Okay? He does. And why he abuses women and children. He has a very small penal code. Very small penal code. Very small penal code. Our friend Jake does. He does. Well, he's not my friend, but, you know, trying to be friendly here. Maybe he'll grab the payphone there at the jail, come out and talk to us. I would love to talk to Jake the Jokester. I would love it. If I was living in California, particularly Riverside County, I'd be pissed off. they use my government gas to take him out to the Badlands and waste everyone's time, I'll be pissed. Pissed. So weird with Jake. He's got one of those Audi belly buttons that looks like an elephant's clitoris, but then he's got this little penal code.
Run-of-the-mill type we would see if there's a bruise on a child, you spank your child too hard, things like that. It's kind of a low-level charge for child abuse that if it's your first offense, you're going to see something like probation and 180 days, what Jake Haro was sentenced to, okay? That is for maybe a broken bone, but even that, just a low-level child abuse charge. When you dig into what happened to Jane Doe CH, that 10-week-old baby, according to the reports, it looks as though she can't see, she can't walk, she has permanent paralysis. These types of severe injuries are nowhere close to the charge that the DA's office filed against Jake Haro. What should have been filed is the most serious child abuse charge, which is basically assaulting a child under the age of 8 and causing permanent paralysis. That charge, there's no other sentence for a judge to give them if they're convicted of that other than life with the possibility of parole. That's the sentence. But you see, Jake was charged only with the lowest level of child abuse and received 4 years probation and 180 days county jail with a 6-year suspended sentence over his head. So when he pled to that charge in June of 2023, it begs the question, whatever prosecutor allowed him to plead to that and be sentenced to that.
Weak, 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 weak. Wicked Witch of the Midwest. You know what? I'm going to drop the link. I should have already done it. I want someone to come up and talk to me about what you think about this case. If one of the moderators, the Mod Squad, can pin it, I'd be ever so grateful because I'm in StreamYard. I'm not on the YouTube app like you. We have been saying this since our first show about Emmanuel. That was attempted murder. Here she is, our new friend, Nick, the Wicked Witch of the Midwest. Girlfriend, talk to me. I love your comments. Come on, my friend.
Why? Thank you so much. I was just literally typing out that was attempted murder. And in my opinion, attempted murder needs the same consequence as murder. Why should the perpetrator get off easier just because their victim was a strong survivor? That's all I'm saying.
That was the DA's argument. Yeah. Because the 10-week-old baby survived with only 3% brain function, it can't be classified as attempted murder.
So let's give him a little pat on the behind and say, don't do it again. I don't think so.
And how did that work? Emmanuel.
Everybody in his family had black eyes. In every picture we saw of them, do we really think this man, I'm not saying man, sorry, monster, learned anything?
It's ridiculous.
I say throw the book at whoever was in charge of picking his sentence and then throw the whole damn library at him.
That's what they should have done.
Yep.
Had they done that, this wouldn't have happened to Emmanuel.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You know he's going to try to blame her the same way he did last time. Anybody that's not, I don't even want to make fun of Helen Keller here. She's not alive to defend herself. But, I mean, you'd have to be devoid of any brain molecules at all to think it's just a coincidence. He just happens to keep choosing these awful women and procreating with them. And then, oh, God, what happens to the baby? It wasn't me. Give me a break.
The only people in this case that know Jake and Rebecca, that have been truthful, have been the exes. Jake's first wife, who said Emmanuel was not at the football game and my son did not need a mouth guard. And I damn sure wouldn't have chubby buns, cottage cheese thigh, looking Rebecca's ass go get it for my child. Then you have Rebecca's ex going, she's all over this. She is 100% a narcissistic liar, and she has a lot to answer for. 2, everyone else is like, well, I believe it really was a kidnapping.
I think no matter what, it wasn't a kidnapping. Let's just call it like.
No,
but he should get the same punishment as him, because what kind of mother sides with a monster like that and is like going all Tammy Wynette and not being a mother?
That's what I'm talking about.
Punish her for that too. God dang.
Oh yeah, you can sit with us anytime. I'm trying to find the court hearing. Jen Buggs said she was jumping out because she wanted to watch something live from the courthouse. I can't find anything. Anyway, I mean, if someone knows when it's live, so be it. But
I'm already on deodorant. It's already got me sweating.
I mean, me too. I'm having to put it under my boobs and everything. I've not had it with these damn people.
Dang, girl. Good Lord. Dang, I'm already sweating on this one. Oh, man. And I mean, again, I put it in chat. I don't know if she saw it. I'm sorry, Ilyanka. I thought you were trying to suggest the dad was innocent earlier. I did not mean to be like, oh, get a grip. No, sorry. I should have read that. I get so worked up, though, when it's babies. I'm a mama. So when it's babies, I'm like.
I'm telling you, we're all the same way here. And also, a lot of things get lost in translation in the chat. And some people be having a conversation from like way up here. And then it comes down here and someone's like, oh, are they talking to me? It's all good. Don't even worry about it.
I was just like, when does anybody buy light? Well, I mean, I just got started in gardening. I haven't got to that point yet, but that makes sense. That does. But I don't see.
What gardening or what gardening is Rebecca doing in the desert?
Yeah, I don't see Heckle and Jekyll doing. I used to live there. I lived in Palm Springs for 10 years. So I know San Bernardino. I was right there. I know that area. I know that high. I drove it every day. I know that area. Your yard is sand.
I've seen pictures of it.
Like, unless you live on a golf course or a country club, your yard is sand.
They don't, they have, I mean, the vegetation they have is like those Temecula cactuses and stuff like that.
Yucca trees.
Yeah, they don't need, well, I can't imagine why they would need a saw. I mean, he doesn't look like Bob the damn builder. I mean, and what the hell are they doing? I mean, what are you growing out in the damn sand? I don't know.
Oh, he's building his own cross. He's a martyr. It's not his fault, you know.
That's why I love when we go to southern Arizona. Certain things you never see when you go like to the Phoenix area. You never see lawnmowers or grass fertilizer. You're not gonna see it.
Right. I see weed whackers sometimes. Like, I don't know if that's the right word for it or if that's just southern, but you know, like for whenever you get, sometimes you'll get like the little cactuses, like the weeds, the tumbleweeds and stuff that start growing before they die, like up around your sidewalks. It's weird, but that's it. That's all you see. If he was buying a rake, I'd be.
Sarah said, Fun to Ski says KTLA Channel 3. KTLA is Channel 5 in Los Angeles, and they are not live. I'm looking at it right now. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. That was very rude of me.
Oh, no. I was just I was laughing, apologizing because it was so loud. You got me, Catherine.
It's fine. Hey, how did you find the channel?
I've been watching for a while. I used to have a different handle. I did a Survivor channel. I kind of wanted to start something a little bit lighter, just kind of conversational and not so deep. And it was kind of taking a mental toll on me having a Survivor channel. So I kind of wanted to do something different. But I used to be the Wandering Orphan. I've been here for a while.
Well, glad you're here. Hey, do you guys want something off topic real quick?
Go for it.
Anybody want the off topic? Sometimes we like to do something off topic when we're all heated up and we need just, well, I'm speaking for myself, a little bit of a break. Okay, this news reporter, I believe in Australia. Don't ask me where in Australia because I've never been. I know enough about Australia to know today is Tuesday in America. So it's Wednesday, I'm assuming, in Australia. Now, look at this cat. This is Mr. Grumpy Cat. He is pissed. He is more pissed than me, Wicked Witch of the Midwest, and all of you put together about Emmanuel's case.
Good for Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat needs his own meme. Can anyone, hey, Grumpy Cat. Jinbug said they changed court to this afternoon. That's what the news reporter was saying on Today in LA, the morning show. And then they just keep changing it around. Does anybody want to watch it live? KTLA might have it. I can't make any promises because I don't know if they're going to have it live. I can't find anything from Court TV or any of them. But I'm telling you, if you find it, well, all I got to do is fire up the old computer. Caption Grumpy Cat for me, okay?
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear fur coats.
What I'm talking about right there. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, he is pissed. He is pissed.
Do you want to hear a funny story of mine, like a little mood lightener?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have 2 Dobermans, and last week I got woke up to my husband, who is a full-grown, real-ass man, screaming. Ah! And I'm like, what in God's name? Okay, so I get up, throw on my robe, I go up to see what's going on, and at this point, he's dying laughing. And he goes, your dog just brought me a skull. What? And he goes, your dog had a human skull in his mouth and comes up grinning, wagging his tail, proud of what he found. And he's laughing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, a little background is I'm an auto body mechanic, but I also do props, like really intricate, realistic props, like creation of them. And I forgot I was making this Halloween like cauldron that looks like it's always smoldering and like got like toxic goo in it. And like the fire is made out of like bones and skulls. And I forgot that I had sat a couple of the skulls out to cure after they were done in the paint bay. And my dog thought it was a ball. So he brought it to my husband, so proud he found the biggest tennis ball he could find in our yard. And my husband's like, I have a 120-pound Doberman bringing me a human skull. You got to warn me, woman. Put these things away. Oh, man.
Well, that is hilarious. If you're a member of this channel, you see all kinds of stuff that my cat does. He has the run of the house. Okay, Jinbug says, also on the Tira, said law enforcement was out there searching in the other side of the area Jake took them to by an old house there. Interesting.
And if they didn't have cameras, I'd say that's more likely of where they think the baby might actually be.
Well, and I think that guy is spot on. I don't really appreciate what people are saying about him. Listen, this is his area. This is his backyard. And
community, culture.
I think he has brought a lot of stuff out. A lot of stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a TikTok user, but now I am because I do watch him because he's got his thumb on the pulse, and I think he's doing great work.
Also, it's so refreshing to see a man who's that passionate in not a creepy or a weird way, but in a genuine fatherly, like community type of way, really rallying for justice for, you know, the innocent. Like, you don't see that a lot. Usually it's shaking the can or it's, you know, I want the views or whatever. This guy, you can tell he does not give a flip. He doesn't care if he gets arrested. He just wants justice.
Well, and I see some of the usual suspects that come to different cases. I mean, I recognize the names after all these years. All fine and dandy, super duper by me. This one lady, you know, I guess I can go ahead and put her name out. It's, I'll just say Bedudo. And she's in this Facebook group, and she goes, he's just clout chasing. And I'm like, oh my God, you are so stupid. Quit saying that. This man is genuine, and he is working.
He damn near took
his ass off.
He went toe to toe with that one guy saying they need to stop worrying about Emmanuel, get out of his yard. You need to water his grass. What grass? First of all, we've already covered this. There's no grass. Second, that guy was he had some serious, like, he drives a Ford Compensator. That's all I'm saying.
I think the dude is funny. I think he's genuine. And I'm getting really tired of fat fucking white women sitting on their couch talking about clout chasing, grifting. That's all they want. They don't know. They aren't important. Let's get to Grumpy Cat.
If this
I'll
cat,
ask you what you think of the politician.
They picked the wrong name because he's seriously got that Kim, people are dying face going.
Mm-hmm. He's got this look like he just stays pissed off. OJ, come here and look at this. OJ, come look at this kitty. You play kind of mama. Get on my lap and look at Grumpy Cat. Poor Grumpy Cat. Man, that was hilarious. I love when we can just decompress with something off topic. I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. We have some new members today. Betty Smith, who's been a friend for a long time. Joanne, thank you so much for donating to the channel. Karma, woohoo, I love my CLL fam. I do too. My fellow Okie. Kimberly Mann, every day is her birthday, and she's an evangelist. I did not know. Gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Lauren is a new member. You guys are the absolute best. Don't forget.
Treat yourself to the cookie and the coffee. You deserve it.
Do what, babe?
I said treat yourself to the cookie and the coffee, y'all. You deserve it.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't forget to keep Angel P in your prayers. You know, she's an amazing friend. She loves all of you, and we love her. Okay?
Is there something specific, or is it a personal thing?
Her father-in-law is going to hospice.
Oh, bless her heart. That's so hard.
Well, I'm going to be back here in about an hour talking about a totally separate case. So hopefully everyone comes and says hi. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being here. Love ya.